Welcome to round one of the UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup 2023, live from the beautiful city of Cheongsong. Surrounded by the Taebaek Mountains, the city is a hub for outdoor activities and exploring nature. This morning we kick off with the highly anticipated speed finals, where the world's best ice climbers showcase their lightning-fast reflexes and incredible strength as they race up the ice walls. The aim of the game is simple: get to the top in the fastest time without falling. The athletes have been training their strength, agility and mental focus over the summer, but one thing they can't train for is the exact wall they'll be facing. So this is the famous wall of Cheongsong. It's 15 meters high, and this is where athletes will go head-to-head in a final knockout duel to be crowned overall speed champion. But that part comes a little bit later. First, there is the round of 16, and here athletes climb both routes, and it's their aggregate time that counts. If you fall, you're out. Now, it's 3 degrees Celsius. We've had some really mild temperatures lately, so the wall is a little bit wet, but whatever the weather, we're guaranteed some stellar action this morning. My name is Tarquin Cooper, and I'll be commentating throughout all of today's speed action. I'm being told we're almost ready to go with our first athletes, and what a lineup we have. The qualifications finished just a few moments ago, and we already had some incredibly close times, so I can't wait to see what our climbers achieve in the final. So, in men, we've got Min Chul Kim, Yoon Kyu Park, Mosen Beshti Rad, Mi Jun Hyun, Henry Toivola, Basan Dorj Davandorj, and Seikan Jalgal Otkan Baya from Mongolia, David Bufar from Romania, Kelem Namdar, Samuel Serra, Dorjan Kaur Otkan Ku, Yoongjung Lee, Mohammed Reza Safdarian, Dennis Van Hook, Myungwook Yang and Yangpu Jun are all the qualifiers for the men's speed finals. And that promises to be super exciting. So how it will work, all the men will get to do their round first, all 16. They each get a go on the wall. And now let's have a look at the women. So we've got Shabnam Asadi from Iran, Caitlin Russell-Connor from the UK, Marianne van der Steen from the Netherlands, Suki Lee, Michiko Ichikawa, Kumiko Uhara, Marian Preda, Aneta Lujeka from Czech Republic. And then Vivian Labaril joins us from Switzerland, Gina Kim from Korea, Catalina Sherney from the US, Nayamdar Selenje from Mongolia, Olga Kosek, Eni Berkling, and a couple of others. We're going straight to the men. No time to lose. So, this is Kim In-jul. Now, in the round of 16, it's all about the time. It's not a battle just yet. That comes a little bit later. So it's your fastest, your overall time that qualifies you into the top 8. So we've got 2 Korean climbers here, Kim In-jul and Park Yun-kyu. Kim is on the right, Park is on the left. And there's the green light to go. It looks like Curler's got the edge. Park just took a nearly came off. The ice is quite difficult, I've been told. The unseasonably warm temperatures that we've had lately, it's been almost 15 degrees, has caused quite a lot of melt. So the ice is quite soft. That may help with less fracturing. So the times that we've got coming up for that, Kim, a time of 10.9 and 11.7. So now Park will move over to the right and be joined by Mohsen Beşti-Rad, who of course won last year the World Championships in Saas-Fee, so he will be super exciting to watch. And he's also been busting out some fast times in qualifiers. So hold on to your seats for the man on the left. Look, that is how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. He's so fast the camera can't even keep up with him. Absolutely wonderful to see. Makes it look so easy. Something he trains for the whole year. Really superb climber. Park just hanging in there. A reminder that if you come off, that's it, you're out. You are eliminated. So you've got to stay on for both your routes. So that counts for nothing, that superlative performance from Beşti-Rad, unless he also tops on this one. And it's the combined time that counts to go through to the final 8. So it's Beşti-Rad, and now it's on the left is Hyun Myung-jin, also from Korea. Again, another great performance there from Beşti-Rad, but Hyun is not slow at all. He seems pretty happy with that. So climbers have to hit that timing, Matt. I was talking to one of the judges earlier, and if you slightly miss it, if you lunge and don't get it to hit it properly, that's it, doesn't count. So Korean athlete Hyun on the right hand side, and should be seeing Henry Toivola on the left. We should recognize him with his silver trousers. There he is, there they are. He's worn those every year for the last 3 years. So Toivola had a little bit of not a great start, but really fighting. But Hyun is clearly got a faster time. So Toivola will need to really ramp up the speed if he's to hope to get into that final 8. A great character, Henry. Good to see those silver trousers getting another outing. He moves over to the right. His best performance was 25th last year, and it's Davendorj Bazandorj from Mongolia. The Mongolians are really good at this, so I think they are in contenders for the podium today. The man to watch is Naeem Dar, but let's see how his countryman Davendorj does. Looking very, very strong. Clearly, its speed is one of the sports they do in Mongolia really concentrate on. Heroic effort, though, nonetheless, from Henry. Just seeing the times come up live. So Henry, 17.62 and 13.82 for him. Mohsen Bestirad, yeah, 5.84 and 5.69, which gives you an idea. So, two Mongolians now. Otgon Bayat now joins his countryman Davandosh. Otgon Bayat in the red, Davandosh on the right in the blue. And it's both pretty close. Neck and neck, both fast climbers, looking at the way they're just legs scrabbling away. The way David Buffard explained it, one of our videos that we ran last year in SAS Phase, you've got to think about it like running up a staircase with rails either side, and you're just reaching one side for the rail, reaching for the next side. And as luck should have it, he is next in the lineup. David Buffard, originally from Canada, now representing Romania where he lives, and he's going to demonstrate this technique of sprinting up a staircase where you're just lunging for those banisters. Otgon Bayat on the right, David Buffard on the left, one tool in the ice, one foot in the ice. Ready, attention, go. Those are the three signals that the judge gives, and it's Buffard who looks very, very strong indeed. He seems pretty happy with that. And his time, David, 8.81 seconds. Otgon Bayat, 9.57. David now moves over to the right. One of the most experienced speed climbers on the circuit. So it's Kellen Naamdar now joins on the left. Very, very fast climber. Naamdar, he's been competing for a few years, often he's had fourth in 2020 a couple of times, so definitely a podium contender. Watch him very closely. Look at those feet of David Buffard just going so far, but Naamdar finds the afterburners and just rockets up there. So David 8.810, but Naamdar is a little bit faster at 7.690, so just over a second faster than Buffard. So Buffard comes off. Naamdar moves to the right, and he's joined by Samuel Serra from USA. 23 years old. 12th at the North American Championships last year. Now, the US has been quite slow to catch up with the rest of the world on speed climbing, but they've made great strides in the last few years. So Naamdar showing what he is capable of. But Sarah also showing some really great technique. Maybe hasn't quite got the speed. Waiting for that time to pop up. 7.69 for Naamdar. Not quite as fast as Bestirad, but it'll be enough to get him through into the knockout stages. And that's the really exciting part. So 14.76 for Sarah. He now moves to the right and joined by Otgon Koo, also from Mongolia. We've got 3 Mongolians in this round of 16. Quite a tall athlete, as you can see. He's really going for that side pull technique. If you look at that left arm, it's quite interesting. It helps to do that to prevent the ice breaking. It's a little bit more secure. Sam Serra, 14.76, but not close to Otgon Koo's 8.75. So currently the 1, 2, 3 is Bestirad, Naamdar and David Buffard in the 1, 2, 3 place in the rankings. So it's Otgon Koo now moves to the right, and it's Lee Young-gun on the left from Korea. Koreans don't traditionally, or in the past, didn't really focus so much on speed, but that is changing. He's also got that crab-like technique. Oh, the picture stuck there. That's a sign because the ice is a little bit warm lately. Through the melt, it's a little bit sticky. So he had a bit of a sticky pick, which slowed him down. I've seen that a little bit in the practice rounds and in qualification. athletes have been getting those picks stuck from time to time. But the alternative, if it's super cold, you get a lot of ice fracturing. And a reminder that if the ice breaks off, it's not a technical incident. It's just tough luck. So, Mohammad Reza Safdarian on the left and Youngkun Lee on the right. Reza tends to be better at the lead discipline, but still a very, very strong climber on speed. Again, he's just hooking with that left. Made it look really super, super easy. And Lee just struggling a little bit there. I'm off 10.640, 7.220 for Mohammad Reza Safdarian from Iran, who, if you could believe it or not, once trained in the Iranian swimming team, which was wondering whether that would be a useful skill to have with so much wet weather we've had here in Cheongsong. So who now joins us? It's Dennis Van Hook. Now Dennis has been here coming to Cheongsong for 10 years. First here in 2011, has been around for ages. Let's see how he does. 35 years old. He's got the height. And very close between the two of them. Not a lot in it. Dennis got that height. He gets a little bit of a pick stuck again, rather like Lee. But great performance there. 9.550, 2 seconds off Mohammad Reza Safdarian, but it might be enough to get through to the top 8. It should be inches above Kim Min Chul. Let's see. We've got a little bit of a quick look at the leaderboard there. So he's got to get above 22.67, the combined time. So Dennis on the right and Yang Myung Wook from Korea on the left. So Yang and Hook. Dennis starts with a very, very high leg placement, but Yang really demonstrating this sort of flying technique there. Oh no, and he came off. Disaster for Yang, but did well to stay on. 9.550 for Van Hook. He'll be pleased that time was a little bit faster. 8.93 his second run. One more climber to come through, and that's Jun Yang Pyo. Yang clipped on. Yang Pyo on the left, and Yang is on the right. So Korea against Korea, both of them launching themselves up this ice wall, almost as if there's an invisible winch. Oh no! It looks like Yang has destroyed the timing mat. So that might lead to a little bit of a delay before the women start. So Yang Pyo, I think, still needs to do his second run. Let's have a look at the scoreboard. Yang Pyo still needs to do his second run, but clearly there's going to be a little bit of a delay now while we fix the timing mat, where one of the Koreans helpers jumps in there. Good opportunity to thank all the helpers, all the judges, the belayers. In speed, each climber has 2 belayers rather than the obligatory one belay for lead for obvious reasons. You just can't belay fast enough with the speed that these climbers ascend this route. So you need the second person. Now, a big shout out for the Korean Alpine Federation who put on this event. We're going to get a nice shot here of the structure. Amazing structure. And I was saying earlier, it's been built in. It's been a World Cup tour stop since 2011, and there are only a few athletes who competed in those in that year. Dennis van Hoyk is one of them. Another is Hyun Park, and Yoon Sung Shin also took part in 2011. And here we are, 12 years on, and they're still going strong. We should also credit all our sponsors, Outdoor Research. This event couldn't happen without them, and also the UIAA, which is the Asian arm of the UIAA. So, hope you enjoyed that little warm up for the main action to come. What's going to happen next is we're going to have the women. We're going to see the 16 female athletes go through their round of 16, and once again it's the accumulated time that counts. It's not a battle just yet. And then we come to the round of 8, the quarterfinal round, and their athletes will go head to head, and it's a knockout round. And the way it's organized is like normal knockout rounds. It's the first ranked athlete against the 8th, and then the 4th ranked athlete against the 5th ranked athlete, and so on. And then there's a semi-final, and then there's the battle, the final for 3rd place, and then finally there is the battle for 1st and 2nd place. So we're being told that we'll have a little bit of a delay now, approximately 5 minutes before we can resume, just so that timing mat can be corrected and fixed. Time is everything in this sport. To state the obvious, but it's just fractions of seconds that count. Now, if we just have a look at some of the times, I mean, Mohsen Beshti Rad has the edge. He has a combined time of 11.53, so his best run was 5.69 seconds. And his teammate, Mohamed Reza Safdarian, still almost 3 seconds slower than him. Another 2 seconds behind him is Naamda. Very close to his countryman, Okgonku. David Ban as well. Look at that. 2, 3 falls and 5. That's could go any way between Naamda Okgonku and David Buffar. So that could be a real fight for 3rd place. It promises to be fairly exciting. Dennis van Hoek is another second box off the pace, but closely behind him is Yang and then Dava Dorsch. So that is the current leaderboard. However, that could change. Dava Dorsch might be knocked out because no, I think that is it. Excuse me. I wonder whether Yang would have a second ascent, but it looks like he may have come off, and so that ends his round. I've just seen some of the other times. Athletes have a total of 60 seconds to do the route. I don't think we're in danger of anyone needing that amount of time. But if you take longer than 60 seconds, well, clearly you're not going to win, but you are eliminated. We're just looking at a replay here. So one thing to say about the speed finals on this World Cup tour, it's kind of the, are we getting the, this looks like we've got the starter list for the women. From Iran, Shabnam Asadi, Caitlin Russell-Connor from the UK, Marianne van der Steen from the Netherlands, the Korean athlete Suki Lee. And first up is the Iranian climber Shabnam Asadi. Looking very comfortable, and that's important, just as she slipped. But the most important thing is to get to the top. So she comes from north of Iran, just near Tehran. There's some beautiful mountains just to the north before they opens up into the Caspian Sea. Really wonderful to see Iranian female athletes competing. Not an easy situation in their home country at all at the moment. So this is Caitlin Russell-Connor, and she's now been competing for a few years, been around. Just 19 years old. We'll be looking forward to the British Championships on the first time they have an official UIAA stop coming to the UK in Glasgow in February next month, so do look out for that. So these two female athletes making their way up the speed wall. So Asadi got 17.3 on her first run. We'll just wait for those times to show up. Caitlin, 20.98 seconds. Great first performance. So Russell-Connor will move over to the right-hand route. And that is Marianne van der Steen, who comes over on the left. Van der Steen, very, very experienced athlete, been around for a long time. Tends to excel more at lead, but just loves climbing, does every discipline, climbing all through the year. Caitlin really battling on the right-hand side there, putting in a really strong fighting spirit up to the top. It's a very difficult sport to train for. Not many places around the world have facilities or have dedicated training sites. Usually these kind of wooden training sites, they look a little bit like a campus board, just a little bit more durable for those tools. So van der Steen moves to the right. And this Suki Lee from Japan now joins on the left. And Lee is one of the older athletes here today, 52 years old. And she's got great technique, and she's moving very fast and efficiently up that ice wall. And she will likely clock the fastest time of the women today. So Lee moves to the right. That's it for Marianne van der Steen. And it should be Michiko Ichikawa now on the left-hand side. So the clock has started. Ichikawa not quite as quick as Lee. Lee really showing how to get those legs wide. Really great technique. But Ishikawa is finding her stride. It's all about hooking the ice. You don't want to be swinging. You don't want to be kicking with your legs. It's just placing those tools, those little fifi hooks, directly into the ice. Hopefully in little holds that already exist. So Lee, time of 14.14. Now Ichikawa is on the right. Uhara from Japan, 2 Japanese athletes now. Uhara, 43 years old. She was 15th in Sasfe last year. Can she get into the final 8? And she's off. So both athletes now trying to go as fast as they can. No possibility for mistakes. It's a very unforgiving sport, this. Ichikawa has just got the edge on her teammate. So Ichikawa just waiting for that time to come up. 29.63. It's Uhara who had the edge on her 29. Seconds. 0.19. So this is Marion Prather from the USA. So they're non-binary and has asked that we refer to preferred pronouns as they and them. So I'll do my best. Marion, new addition to Team USA. And she certainly looks like they've got the technique. Looking very strong. Really putting in a great performance there from Marion Prather. Kamiko Ihira, meanwhile, still battling her way to the top. Got to get the timing mat to get at least on the scoreboard. So Marion will now move on to the right-hand side. 22.390. Fastest times that we've seen so far are Lee from Korea, whose fastest time up was 14.14. Now that looks like Aneta Luzeka. Aneta, another athlete who's been around for several years, quite experienced on the speed circuit as well as a lead. But Marion is putting in a really great effort here. Her relative inexperience is not showing at all. Aneta's going strong, though experience is counting for a little bit there. Aneta, time of 16.75 versus Marion's second score, if that comes up, 18.42. Great effort there from Marion Prather. So Aneta Luzeka now moves to the right. And this is Vivian Labrille now. Also an experienced climber. Be interesting to see these two head to head. They're very evenly matched, both very, very strong climbers. Aneta possibly the more experienced on speed. But it's a great battle to see these two head to head. However, it is the time that counts. Aneta has the first score of 16.75. Vivian looking to see how she did. 17.46 for Vivian Labaril on her first run, and Anetta's second run. But this is Kim Gina now on the left, and Vivian Labaril on the right. So Kim Gina, one of the new additions to the team career. We haven't seen her on the World Tour before. Lots of shouts from her teammates. Vivian, first a score of 17.46, second time. Let's wait for that to come up. 17.389, so at least she's got the consistency. 17, definitely one of the faster times. That should put her in the top 5. So Vivian Labaril looking good to make the final. Gina Kim now moves over, and it's another US athlete, Catalina Shirley. Also been doing a great performance here on the lead competition. Cat Shirley just making very nice movements with those legs, really getting the technique dialed. It's really amazing to see how much the Team USA has come on since we first saw them a few years ago. And certainly the speed discipline, we've clearly been doing a lot of training. Gina Kim struggling to get the timing map there. Cat Shirley is also in the lead final later this afternoon, so do come back for that. Just 20 years old. Maybe even hoping for a podium place. He was 5th in the youth last year, so it is definitely possible. I think the judge is just pointing something out to her there. So 5 more athletes to come in the women before we switch back to the men's knockout stages. So we got Cat Shirley here on the right, and the Mongolian athlete Nyamdu Salenji. Now she's a relative newcomer, only 17 years old. Be interesting to see how she gets on. The Mongolians really take to speed. They really excel at this discipline. An ice axe just got thrown, tossed over there, not sure why. So to get in the top 8, you really want a time of less than 55 seconds. So, and they are both off. It's Namdu who's stolen a march, but she is off, and that is her over. Very unforgiving. Cat Shirley continues on. She just keeps working those feet up, keeps them going. And her time, which will appear any second now, 16.64, a second slower than her first run. But that should be comfortable to get her through into the final 8. The bar currently is 44.64 from King Gina. So Olga Kosek now begins her ascent. 38 years old Olga, really experienced all-round climber, taking it steady. Doesn't look always that fast, but just the crucial thing is not making mistakes. We saw what happened with Namda just a moment ago. That's it. Unfortunately, she made a mistake. she came off, and that was it out. So now it's the battle between these two experienced athletes, I should say, with Finland's Enni Bertling now taking up her place on the speed wall. One of only two Finnish athletes here today. Henri Toivola being the other. She's more concentrated on the youth, bringing on the next generation, she told me earlier. And she's off. So, both of them working their way up. Just placing those tools, hooking the ice, trying not to have any slips, any breakages, any just moments where you peel off. Olga Kosek gets her timing mat. Enni finishes her run there too. A little bit slower on her second run, Olga Kosek. It should be enough to get her through into the finals. Enni will be hoping perhaps to be a little bit faster on this next one. 24 seconds, that's not a final 8 time. And she's now joined by Cheongsong Kim, who is quite new on the world tour, 25 years old. And she's really got that wide hip stance. Look at the way her tools are pulling from the side. That extra security, got the technique. Enni Bertling now comes off 22.459 for her second run. And that is not going to be enough, I don't think, to qualify to get into the final 8. Now, it is Ros Reynolds from USA versus Jim-Young Kim. Ros is a little bit of an unknown in speed. But if she's been training, oh no, and Kim is off. So that she is now eliminated. All eyes now on Ros Reynolds. And if she trains anything like as hard as her American teammates, we can expect some pretty good things from this climber. Gets the timing mat on the second go. Really important you get that timing mat. We've seen many a climber lunge for it and miss, or don't hit it hard enough, and it doesn't count. It comes up as a fall, so really important you get that. So Ros is part of that US crew hanging out at the Boulder Rock Club. She's an instructor there. And she's off, really going for it now. It's all about just trying to run uphill. Vertical sprint is what this sport is. But unfortunately, there's sometimes nowhere for your feet to go. They just skit about on the ice as though you're a cartoon character. So she was 20.51 seconds on her first run. And we await to hear how she got on the second one. But 20, it's going to be close, because Caitlin was 20.98, 21.64. It's slow, so sadly, I don't think that will be enough to get her through into the top 8. 44 seconds. Yeah, it's slower than Caitlin currently in last place. So let's look at the leaderboard. Suki Lee, Catalina Schöne, Aneta Luzeka, Shabnam Asadi, Olga Kosek, Mariana van der Steen, Marian Prather, and Caitlin Russell-Connor are all go through into the knockout stages, which follow the men. And the other female athletes are therefore ranked accordingly. Gina Kim, Ros Reynolds, Eni Bertling, Michika Ichikawa, Kumiko Uhara, Jinyoung Kim, Nyamda Selenche, and Vivian Labaril all will be ranked accordingly. So, we are now go through to the men. So this is Myung-wook Yang, and the order of play will be against the fastest athlete from the previous round. So that'll be Mohsen Beshti Rad will take up position on the left. Now, a reminder, this is the knockout stages, but you have 2 runs. It's still done on time, and it is the fastest accumulated time who will go through to the next round. I think we can say the favourite is Beshti Rad on the left. Yang doesn't seem very comfortable. There's something not happy. Beshti Rad's teammate Mohammad Reza Safdarin comes out, puts a down jacket on, keep him warm. It's just unclipped now. Not sure what the issue was there. So they wait for the judge's signal. Ready, attention, then go. Look, he's working out the moves already. And you start with 1 tool in the ice and 1 foot in the ice too. So, poised like a panther, all eyes on Beshti Rad here. But Yang gets off to a great start. Very fast climbing indeed. It's neck and neck almost from the 2. Beshti Rad has a little bit of a stumble, and it's very, very close indeed. Where did that come from? Because Yang was the slowest ranked athlete from the qualifying round, proving that he's got some speed in that engine. .36 for Beshti Rad. Yang wasn't far off that. They're waiting for time to show. It's not coming up, but so I mean, on the started orders, and up they go. Beshti Rad has it this time. Clearly, it's Beshti Rad's to lose. Yang made a heroic first ascent. So Beshti Rad 7.16 Yang got on the first run. Beshti Rad 7.4. Now it's David Buffard now. Comes over. This is the battle between the 4th ranked athlete, David, and the 5th ranked athlete. And that is, excuse me, that looks like Dennis Van Hook. David Buffard looking very comfortable there. Dennis does just a little bit of a shrug. They now swap over. 8.196 for David and 8.662 for Dennis van Hoek. Not a lot in it. Not a lot in it. And if David should come off, he will fall out. So pressure is on for David, just at least stay on the route. And they're both off to very good starts. Dennis seems like he has the edge over David. Just marginally faster there from Dennis van Hoek. Waiting, bated breath, 8.625, which is still slower than David's first run, 8.8. So that will be David Buffard who goes through. He has the faster time. Next athletes were Mohamed Reza Safdarian and Yang Pyo Jun. Reza on the left-hand side. Favourite should be Mohamed Reza, looking at really good technique with the left. Just hooking all the way up makes it look easy. Great performance there from Mohamed Reza Safdarian, who will go through, provided nothing goes wrong, but things can go wrong in this sport. But he will be looking to go through and the next into the next round. So Reza tries to get a really nice high hold there, get his foot poised, ready for an explosive start. Attention, there's the... And they're off. Whose is it going to be? I think it's going to be Mohamed Reza Safdarian. He is definitely the stronger athlete on this battle between him and Jun. Safdarian will go through to the semis. That means that 2 Iranian athletes will go through. So next up, these are the final athletes. Dorjenkor Otkunku, who was ranked 6th overall, and his Mongolian teammate Kelim Namdar, who was 3rd fastest in qualification. And it's Mongolia against Mongolia. It's matching pick to pick, but it's Namdar who has the edge now. Otkunku stumbled a little bit on the way up. Oh, and he's off. So that is him out. Namdar will go through to the semis, but he will still get a second route to get his accumulated time, the aggregate time on which the semis are judged. So it's just a battle against the clock now for Kelim Namdar. Now he really shows his stuff here with an explosive start, just leaping up the ice. The pick just got stuck a little bit there, which would have cost him a little bit. But another great performance there from Kelim Namdar. It's 7.412 on his first run. Let's wait and see what he gets on the second. 10.91. Yeah, that just got his pick stuck, which cost him. So that's just over, that'll be 18 seconds, which will put him in 4th place, 18.33. So now we shall switch to the women. They will be up next. So the first athlete up will be Lee Suki. up against Marian Prather from USA. So we can't really ignore the fact that this year it's very different. For obvious reasons, the Russians are not able to compete. And the Russians in the past have absolutely dominated this sport. There's not a year, there's actually, in fact, only 1 year in the men that has been won by a non-Russian. So one of the results of that is it has opened up the podium to other athletes for the first time. And that also creates some opportunities. It's potentially good for the sport. Now let's look at the leaderboard for the women. We've got Marian Prather, Sugi Lee, Shabnam Asadi, Vivian Labaril, Marian van der Steen, Catalina Shirley, Olga Kosek, and Elneta Lusheka ready to compete in their first knockout round. Are you enjoying the speed finals here in Cheongsong? Let us know in the comments. Let us know who you're rooting for. Do you think it's a sport that you would like to try yourself, maybe? It's definitely a lot harder than it looks. The really proficient athletes just make it look so easy. It looks like they're just floating effortlessly up. But the technique is quite something very different to irregular ice climbing technique. As I said earlier, there's no swinging of the tools. You're placing them. And it can be quite dangerous if you get it wrong. I think there's many a climber has a war wound story to tell you. Of times where they've missed, have accidentally stabbed themselves, nearly severed arteries and the like. There is talk. There's often talk about bringing in protection. Often you see athletes wearing some sort of padding, something that's often discussed with the team. Just having a little bit of a delay before the knockout round begins for the women. Reminder that Outdoor Research is the sponsor of the UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup. Big thanks to them. Without them, it would not be possible. You can just see a little bit of ice fall in the background behind this amazing structure. That also is a man-made. The Koreans invested 100 million won back in the day, 20 years ago, investing in this as a real mecca for ice climbing. So from the qualification round, the fastest was the Korean athlete Lee Soo-ki with a time of 30 seconds, 30.23 seconds. So she should be paired with Marion Prather from the USA. It's the first athlete against the 8th ranked athlete, then it's the 4th ranked athlete against the 5th ranked athlete, then it's the 2nd against the 7th ranked athlete, and then the 3rd ranked athlete against the 6th ranked athlete. Sounds complicated, but it's not really, but it really allows the favourite a fair crack of the whip to get through onto the next round, which is the semis. And then the semis is ranked according to the overall time, so it's still all about the time. Seeing all the climbers down there. Mohamed Reza on the left, Team USA, some Korean climbers too. That looks like Marion is getting their stuff together. Marion is number 107. So Marion will be on the right. And Lee is on the left. Fastest climber always starts on the left. So Lee is the favourite from Korea. And this is a knockout. It's both times. Remember, Lee is out and on her way. Is it the way to victory? She's got the edge on Prather. Oh, and Prather is off. It's so unforgiving, this sport. Unfortunately, that is it for Marion. Their finals in the speed here at the Cheongsong World Cup is over. And Soo-ki Lee now will go up the right-hand route to get her aggregate time, which is required to decide the ranking, the lineup in the next round in the semis. So, just a race against the clock now. So the perfect technique really is to be like a rocket launcher, have explosive power at the start, and then just build it, and just keep going, launching upwards into space, at least up this wall of ice, 15 meters high, and not falter and suffer no technical glitches. Just a few more meters to go. Gets the timing mat. So 14.635 on her first run. Second run is coming up as 23.18 seconds. Quite a lot slower. So this is Vivian Labaril up against Shabnam Asadi from Iran. So Vivian is the favourite, but really this should be the closest heat, and it looks that way. Asadi has the edge. It's really, oh no, and Vivian Labaril is off. Asadi has it. Asadi will be very pleased with that performance. So she just needs to stay on the route and she will go through. Vivian sticking around just to give her a little fist pump. Great to see such sporting behaviour. So the most important thing for Asadi here is just not to come off. If she comes off, that's it. She doesn't go through, and it'll be one of the other athletes, the fastest loser, as it's called, who will go through to the semis. So she just needs to stay on and she'll go through. First time was 13.543. And looking very good. Nice, it's sort of crab-like technique here, hooking with those tools. Oh no! Oh no! So near the top. So that will mean she goes out. And I may need to consult the rule book, but it's the fastest loser who will go, the fastest otherwise loser will go through. So at any rate, no time to lose. Marianne van der Steen on the right and Kat Shirley on the left. So Kat is the favourite on this one. She was the second fastest in qualification, but it's Mariana who seemed to get the fastest start, but it is really tool to tool here. Catalina is inching ahead. Mariana just got a little bit stuck in the midsection of the route, and it's Kat Shirley who has it. So they now swap places. Kat Shirley on the right. Mariana van der Steen from the Netherlands. Not famous for its climbing, the Netherlands, but it's produced some great climbers. And the start gun fires. Both of them on their second route on the ice wall here in Cheongsong at the World Cup, battling for their place into the semi-finals. It really is shoulder to shoulder here, but Shirley looks like she's got the edge. It's Shirley who's got it. Mariana van der Steen just a few seconds behind. Kat Shirley 14.459 on the first run, and 5 seconds faster than Mariana on that first run. 19.125. That's a combined time of 33.58 for Kat Shirley, which puts her into the lead position. But we now got Aneta Luzeka on the left and Olga Kosek on the right. Aneta looks like she means business, really moving efficiently through the ice wall here, just hooking nicely in those holes. But Olga Kosek is not letting go. Close, very close. It looks like they're swapping notes, just to having a bit of a chat on the abseil back down. So Aneta 14.55 and 14.84, so 0.3 of a second quicker, Aneta. In other words, nothing in it. It could go either way. All eyes on Olga. And they're off. Aneta has it at the moment, a little bit faster, but anything can still happen. Who is it going to be? Kosek still fighting. Anything can still happen. And it can all go wrong in that last moment. Who's it going to be at the top? Now, I think it might have been Olga who just cinched it, but it's the total time that counts, not just who wins the heat. So Aneta 15.94, a little bit slower than Olga, 15.56. So who is it that goes through? It's Aneta, 13.49. But Olga is the faster time. It's Olga who goes through at 30.41 seconds. So that's it for Aneta. However, she may still get a chance to go through to the semis because, as discussed previously, both Vivian Labriel and Shabnam Asadi came off. So it will be the next ranked athlete who goes through to the semi-finals. And that's it for the women, that round of 8. We're straight now back into the men. So we have the fastest ranked athlete, which once again is Mohsen Beshti-Rad, against the 4th ranked athlete, which should be Kellen Namdar. Now the scoreboard is saying something else. Yes, it's Kellen Namdar. Could be close. So Beshti-Rad goes for that side pull. You can pull around the corner, around the arete, use it like an arete. Both of them coiled like springs, waiting. Oh, standing down. Waiting for those signs, I was going to say it. So voice commands, attention, ready, attention, and then go. Beshti-Rad will be looking to get another gold to his tally, having won the World Championships last year in sensational style in Saas-Fee. A reminder that we've got 3 back-to-back world tours. Next weekend we're going to be in Champagny-en-Vanoise in France, and then absolute highlight of the season in Saas-Fee, Switzerland. Look how, one of the things you notice these climbers is their flexibility. It's just marvelling at Beshti-Rad's hip flexibility there. Really important, particularly, well, in both disciplines, but especially in speed, to be able to get those hips nice and wide. So if you're just tuning in, we're at the semi-finals of the speed event of the World Cup, the first stop on the World Cup 2023. Now, we're not being updated why both athletes have just unclipped. As soon as I get an update, if I learn the reason for this, I will let you know. But for the moment, we just have to bear with it. Looks like it's definitely got cooler in the past few days. Looks like it's trying to snow. Was raining yesterday, not great. And a few days before that, it was pissing with rain. 15 degrees, which was not great. There are a few nervous faces around at the damage that was doing to the ice wall, but it looks like it's been holding up well. It's an incredible structure, really. So we just got a technical issue. I think the judges are just having a small conference about what happens next. We're down to the last 4 for our male athletes. And this is all about the battle for 1, 2 and 3. Who is going to be in that battle for 1st and 2nd? And then there's another final for 3rd and 4th. And this heat will decide who goes into the heat for 1st place and who goes into that heat for 3rd and 4th place. And it is Mohsen Beshti-Rad and Kellen Namdar. Then the next heat will be Mohammad Reza Safdarian and David Buffard to look forward to. So here we are. They are back on. Beheshti Rad from Iran. Kailan Namdar from Mongolia. Okay, they go head to head in a battle to get through to the finals. Beheshti Rad makes a very, very quick start. Oh, and Namdar is off. Brutal for Namdar. It's such an unforgiving sport. He now retires. He knows that is it over for him. So Beheshti Rad can almost relax on this. He's through to the final, but this may just improve his time. Strictly speaking, he's making a very fast ascent. Look at him go. Really great to see the technique of these super fast climbers. Amazing run there from Beheshti Rad. And he hasn't even worked up a sweat. So David Buffard now takes up his spot on the right hand side. He was the third fastest athlete. And it's Mohammad Reza Safdarian on the left. Safdarian had a little bit of faster off out the starting block, and he's definitely got the edge. Buffard has stuck. Oh no, but Safdarian is off. It's Buffard who goes through. Mohammad Reza Safdarian just not happy. He's looking up to see what happened, what on earth went wrong there. And I can tell him his pick got stuck in the ice. Occupational hazard of these conditions. The ice is quite wet, it's quite warm, it's quite sticky. Yeah, hands on hips. Nothing you can do but have a little consolation hug from his teammate, Mohsen Beheshti Rad. Looks like there's only going to be one Iranian to go through into the final. So David will get another go on the wall. David Buffard now gets another go on the wall. He's taking his time. He knows that a successful ascent is all that he needs. So it will be David Buffard up against Mohsen Beheshti Rad in the fight for first and second place. Oh, now we'll switch to the women. The top four women, it will be Olga Kosek up against Aneta Luzeka, and then it'll be Catalina Shirley against Suki Lee. Can't believe it's been 3 years since we were last here in Cheongsong. It's been a main stop on the tour since 2011. And we were all hoping it would come back last year, but Unfortunately, national rules prevented. It's been 3 very long years before we could come back to this famous apple-growing region of Cheongsong. Definitely one of the most popular stops on the World Tour. Always really well organised. The structure's first class. The route setting is first class. A reminder that we've got the lead finals later this afternoon. They start at 1:30 local time. Now we've got the women here. Olga Kosek on the right. Up against Aneta Luzeka. Aneta seems to have the edge there. Whoa, look close that Olga was going to come off. Aneta has got it. Just want to be sure that Aneta did touch the timing mat. Judging by the look on her face, not sure. 12.18. Yes, she did. She did hit the timing mat. Those two now swap over. Olga Kosek, 16.10 seconds. Very fast start there from Aneta Luzeka. Really going for it. Olga Kosek managed to have got a little bit stuck early on, but is making up for it. It's Kosek now who takes the lead. Kosek has it. Oh no, and she misses. She is off. So it will be Aneta Luzeka who gets that place into a final. Nice to see a hug between the two athletes. Next up, Catalina Shirley and Suki Lee. This decides who will go through to battle Aneta Luzeka for a place for first and second, and who will go through the third and fourth. So it's neck and neck, shoulder to shoulder, pick to pick. Cat Shirley seems to have the edge, but it could be anyone's. Lee looks like she has it in the final moments. She stole ahead. But they've still got to go one more time. A really close battle there. Really exciting to see. Suki Lee now takes up her place on the right-hand side. Cat Shirley gets her leg nice and high, ready to propel herself up this wall. Really dynamic start there from both athletes, and it's really close. It still could go any way. Shirley has just fallen back. It's Lee who's taken the lead. Shirley does well to cling on there, and again she falls, but manages to hold it. But Lee has it. Oh, did she fall? Did she fall? It looked like both athletes came into trouble near the top there. Kat definitely had a fall. Lee, arms in the air. It's Lee who goes through. So that will be super exciting. It'll be Lee and Aneta Luzeka and Kosek and Shirley who battle for third and fourth place. So it's now the battle for third place for the men, and then we'll go straight into the final, the battle for first and second. So on the left we have Kela Namdar, and he will battle Mohammed Reza Safdarian. So Namdar is on the right, Reza will be on the left. Reza, that left pick ready to hook at the side. And it's done him well, and he's got the edge. It's definitely looking Reza's way. Reza comes off again. No, another fall for Mohammed Reza Safdarian. Oh no, and he's hurt himself too. So that's really sad for Mohammed Reza. Namdar goes over to see if he's okay. But that will mean that Namdar goes into third place. So he's able to hobble out. It is unfortunately an occupational hazard of the sport, especially when you got really sharp picks. Sure, it'll prompt discussions within the organisers and judges about protection, and athletes as well. Should athletes wear some kind of padding? So next after this will be the final of the men. It will be between David Bufar and Mohsen Beshtirad from Iran. So we're just, I think it was Mohammed Reza Safdarian's tool is stuck in the ice, so we're just waiting for that now to be extracted. So Namdar gets another crack at the whip, another go to improve his time. So his third place is assured, and he gets another go up the wall of ice, and he takes full advantage. He now will stand on the podium. And now David Bufar comes out. This is the battle for first place. But the final here, the speed, ice climbing, and the UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup. Beshtirad on the left from Iran, David Bufar from Romania on the right. It's Beshtirad who makes an absolutely rocket launch up this wall and absolutely flies his way up there. David Bufar follows, but not quite fast enough to compete alongside this extraordinary athlete from Iran. 6.16 seconds from Beshtirad. That may yet be the fastest time we've seen here today. David Bufar can only hope, if that's the right word, that Beshtirad will come off. That's his only hope to stand on the gold position. And they're off. Beshti Rad again, once again, flies up this route, looking like no mistakes from him, and he gets to the top. The win is his. David Buffard takes the silver. We have a new champion, a new silver medalist. First time David Buffard has stood on the podium. The second time that Beshti Rad takes the gold, having won the World Championships last year in South Fe. He is definitely now the man to beat at speed. So that is it for the men. First place goes to Mohsen Beshti Rad. Second place to Romanian athlete David Buffard, and third place to Kelin Nyamdu from Mongolia. And then the other athletes will be ranked accordingly. Mohammed Reza Safdarin is fourth, Myungwook Yang, Dennis Van Hook, and Yang Pyo Jun in seventh, and Dorsen Kaur Otkungu takes the 8th place. So we're waiting for the women now. We're getting word that there is some issue. We're not getting any further details. So apologies for the delay. So we are hearing there's some issue with the women's lineup. We're not sure what that is, whether it's actually technical, whether it's to do with scoring. So just had an update from the judges. Had a little bit of an issue with both Asadi and Vivian Labril. They both came off during the earlier round, and they should have got the chance to just get immediately back on, and that didn't happen. So they are going to be given the chance to get back on again. And so we're going to have a little bit of a delay while that happens, and that will then affect the scoring. So we'll then rerun the women's the quarter final. So bear with us. On the plus side, it does mean we're going to get to see some more action here this afternoon. So Vivian Labril now on the left from Switzerland, and we have the Iranian athlete Shabnam Asadi on the right, redoing their route. So it's Asadi, who looked at first like she was inching ahead, but it's shoulder to shoulder, pick to pick, and it's Labril who looks like she is stealing ahead. It could be anyone's. Very close indeed. So they will now swap over. So Vivian, just absolutely nothing in it, less than 1/10 of a second between the two. So Labril on the right, Asadi on the left. So again, it's very, very close, but Asadi looks like she has got the edge, but then pick just popped. Labril has climbed back up. Who is it going to be? Asadi. It looks like it's Asadi. To wait for those scores to come through. So it is Asadi who wins that with 30.36 seconds. As opposed to Vivian Labril's 30.67, so 0.3 of a second faster. Now, I've been told that we're going to rerun the whole of the quarter-final round, so just bear with me as it may get a little bit confusing. We will know as soon as the next athletes come out. So big shout here for Tuki Lee. Tuki Lee from Korea. "52 years old." So we now go straight to the semi-final. It's the semi-final now that we will go to. Now, in theory, that's the fastest athlete against the fourth fastest athlete. And the athlete with the fastest time is the Iranian Shabnam Asadi, but I'm guessing, and this is just a guess, I'm not being updated directly, is that Asadi needs to have some rest before she can do the route again. So she will be paired with Suki Lee. So that all makes sense now. Labaril and Asadi should have got a chance to both get on the route again after they both came off during that quarter-final round. That's why they were allowed to redo their battle. And it was very, very close, but it is Asadi who goes through. But she did such a good time. She's the highest ranked athlete, which means she is next up. The other two athletes waiting in the wings are Olga Kosek and Catalina Shirley. One of those two girls could yet still win. They fight for a place in that final for first and second place. Suki Lee just waiting there for her turn, her chance to get into the final and onto the podium. A reminder, we got the men's final kicking off later this afternoon at 4:30. And then we'll also be live streaming all the action from next weekend in Champagny-en-Vanoise. And of course, from Saas-Fee in Switzerland in 2 weekends' time. First time we've had a proper world tour since before COVID. So really, really exciting to see international athletes and the Koreans coming over to Europe next weekend. Of course, the one absence that is very noticeable is that of the Russians. They're not allowed to compete due to the war in Ukraine. And that makes a noticeable difference on the speed discipline because, of course, you know, there's no denying the Russians do dominate speed. It's a discipline they train for, and they're really good at it. And all the champions going back 15 years are all Russian, except 1 year in 2008 where there was a Slovenian climber slipped through the otherwise almost 20-year dominance of the Russians. But with them not participating, that does open the podium up to other nationalities. And I'm sure there will be many athletes will be training hard and really taking to speed. We've certainly seen the Americans come on. When they first came to Cheongsong in Korea 3 years ago, many of them had really never done any speed climbing at all. They learnt, they watched the Russians, they watched how the Koreans do it and the Mongolians, and they've taken it back to Colorado and other training venues across the States where they've been training. And you see the results here this weekend. A much higher standard than it was 3 years ago, and same for other nationalities as well. Koreans traditionally in the past focused more on lead than speed, and they've really come on. So it's definitely the exciting discipline of the sport. I think the more spectator-friendly discipline as well. People want to see those really fast, crazy stuff, and also the falls as well. I don't know, what do you prefer? Let us know in the comments. Do you think the speed is as exciting as lead, or do you think the lead is more interesting? Certainly in lead you get those massive dynos, which are always quite dramatic, especially when you've got a climber like Luna Ladevon doing them. There's something about the speed discipline. Also, it's very true to the sport. Remember that the Ice Climbing World Cup comes from, it wouldn't be called ice climbing if there wasn't some ice involved. And the speed climbing allows the sport to stay close to its roots. with ice being the integral factor of the climb. So, Asadi is back out. The Iranian climber, currently in pole position. Shabnam Asadi will be up against Suki Lee on the left, Asadi on the right. And Suki Lee, is it a full start? Or did Asadi so they come off again? Not entirely sure what happened there, but when we know more, we shall share that. Looks like they just called back. Lee waving to the crowds, waving to her friends in the Korean team. It looks like she doesn't know what's going on either. Just difficult for the athletes. These things do happen. You get technical issues in the race, in events. The most important thing for them is just to stay psyched, keep warm. Suki Lee just keeping her feet dancing from one foot to another. Keep the blood flowing, really important. Such an explosive sport, speed climbing. Here we are in Cheongsong, the national stadium really for dry tooling and ice climbing in South Korea. Really great venue. Also a UNESCO World Heritage Site on account of the geological wonders in the region. There's actually a very well preserved dinosaur print to be found not far from here. Cheongsong, of course, is also famous for its apple growing, and they produce a rather mean soju, a spirit, an apple spirit that's a bit like vodka. It's quite potent. But normally a few of those go around. So we apologise for the delay. There have been a few issues behind the scenes, but I am reassured that it's all going to kick off very soon with the small final and then the big final. It'll be Aneta Luzeka up against Catalina Shirley, and they will be fighting for a place for first place. And it will be then Suki Lee and Olga Kosek going for the heat for third and fourth. So the first heat will be the small final. And that's for third and fourth. So, we're down to the last 4 female climbers, is basically what you need to know. And those 4 climbers are Aneta Luzeka, Suki Lee, Olga Kosek, and Catalina Shirley. But just as that has been confirmed, I've been told that the scoring system, there's a slight technical issue with the scoring system. So we're working super hard behind the scenes. These things happen to the best of us. So I'd just like to thank you for your patience. There's Olga Kosek. Looks like she's talking to might be her husband, Alexander. He's part of Team Poland himself. Olga, I think, looking at the scores there, and Alexander just providing some real support. Every athlete filled out a questionnaire, and it was interesting that one of the things Olga said was she really relies on the support of her husband, and they make a really great partnership. There is the venue. So as I've been saying, we're suffering a little bit of a technical issue behind the scenes, and we're working super hard to resolve this, but unfortunately we can't go on ahead until this issue has been resolved. When it is resolved, we'll be going into the semi-finals. So that's the last 4 female athletes, and they consist of Aneta Luzeka from the Czech Republic, Suki Lee from Korea, Olga Kosek from Poland, and Catalina Shirley from USA. Sadly, Shabnam Asadi from Iran doesn't go through. We will do a full explainer after the event, but it seems that the original results do stand. So no doubt there will be some form of a debrief afterwards, and in the post-event coverage, I'm sure we will revisit this issue, and that's another excuse to make sure you sign up to our Instagram channel at UIAA_ice climbing, and also check out the website iceclimbing.sport. So Suki Lee is taking that jacket off, and that looks like a promising sign. Aneta is now up and getting ready to climb. Lots of shouts, not sure where they're coming from. A little bit of a shake. Aneta not entirely sure. So this is the last four. You can see that Aneta is wearing knee pads. A little bit of protection for her. So I'm hearing that Mohammad Reza Safdarian has been seeing some medical attention for having hurt his leg, but he should be okay. He's been seeing the medical staff who we have here, obviously on standby to treat that small puncture wound. That's typically the type of wound that you get from an injury with a tool. The difficulty comes if you're hooking and you can swipe it down, and if you miss the ice and it continues its trajectory, it does tend to catch either on the thigh or somewhere on your leg, and it can be painful, it can be bloody. There are many athletes who've suffered such flesh wounds, but they all seem to bounce back. Indeed, David Buffard, who came second, he's had a number of experiences with the pointy bit of a Fifi hook. But it's not a reason to be put off the sport. In fact, one of the interesting things, talking to, I think it was Alexander Husko, Olga's husband, they actually design climbing equipment, and he was talking about, I think it was him who was talking about designing an ice tool with a rubber pick. Obviously not great for ice climbing or dry tooling, but so that it can be used for indoor venues. That would be quite interesting if that sees the light of day. Frustrating for the athletes, of course. They're all psyched, ready to go, and this is it. This is the final, and having this unplanned wait is incredibly frustrating. You can see it on the face of Aneta Lusheka there, as well as Lee. Shaking her head. As I mentioned, we got a technical issue, and as soon as we get that resolved, we will be rolled straight back into the action. Important for the athletes to keep warm, keep focused. Luckily, it's not too cold out there. think if it was -10, that would be a different story. So just looking at the program, obviously this might delay things. So isolation opens at 11:30. So that was half an hour ago. And then the route setting begins at 12. At 12:30, according to the program, we've got entertainment, a singing performance, and then route observation at 1:10. And they have 10 minutes to observe the route for the lead final kicks off at 1:30. And that's 1:30 Korean time, 4:30 in the morning in the UK, 5:30 in the morning for any early risers across Europe, across the Alps. And I suppose that will be somewhere in the early hours of the morning on the east coast of the US, but maybe still quite late in the evening for anyone West Coast watching the action. That promises to be a fantastic showdown this afternoon. Some great talent taking part in the lead finals. Doing some really great route setting. We saw a dyno at the in the semis right at the end. Actually, no athlete topped on the semis, so we'll be hoping that someone gets to the top in the finals. In the meantime, we must have to fix the technical issue. I suspect that behind the scenes, cables are being frantically plugged in and out. Of course, you do have contingency plans for this type of thing happening. And then you have plan Bs and you have plan Cs. I remember a couple of years ago in Tumen, it was so cold, it was about -20, and it was just killing anything with a battery. But that's not the issue this time. But we have got technical support now on the scene. And they're trying to resuscitate the system so that whatever is besetting us can be resolved.
리드 경기는 1시 30분 SBS 생중계로 진행이 되기 때문에 지금 스피드 경기는 잠시 중단을 하고 리드 경기를 먼저 좀 준비를 하겠습니다. 해서 리드 경기 결승에 진출한 선수분들께서는 경기구역으로 지금 이동을 해주시기 바라겠습니다. 선수 경기구간 오픈을 했습니다. 리드 결승에 진출한 선수분들께서는 선수 경기구역으로 이동을 해주시고요. 지금부터 리드 경기도 좀 준비를 했습니다. 그래서 1시 30분에 세 방송 맞춰서 리드 경기 한 후에 스피드 경기를 제일 마지막에 진행을 하도록 하겠습니다. 여러분들 양해 부탁드리겠습니다.
Once again, a massive apology for the interruption to the women's speed finals. Okay, I'm being told that they're going to postpone the women's speed finals until after the lead. So once again, massive apologies. Thank you for watching. It was a stellar performance in the men's. Great performance all round. And stay tuned. Come back 4:30 this afternoon for the lead finals. Thank you everyone for watching. That's all from us.
네.